All right, so last week I couldn't finish cleaning the sidewalks. I got the driveway done, and the reason for that is actually I have 3D printed brackets holding this tank on because it's a tank that I adapted, and unfortunately the brackets I had broke. Now I've got new brackets on there. These are made out of carbon fiber filled ABS. The last ones were just raw ABS, and that ABS had been sitting around for a while, so probably had a lot of humidity in it. That could contribute to it becoming brittle. So this time around I'm using, some fresh carbon fiber filled ABS. I hope it survives. In any case, I'm gonna be remaking the brackets in steel, and that's gonna be the ultimate solution to that because obviously the steel ones won't break. Now I've got a spray bottle back there that's a mixture of water and bleach. Last time I said I wasn't gonna bleach, and then I found that I had that bottle there, and it had a milder bleach solution, so I did end up doing a little bit of bleach on the driveway, but this time around I'm definitely just gonna go for it. So what I do first is I just take the hose and rinse down the sidewalk, and then I'll spray it down with the bleach and just kind of brush that in. I'll just brush that in with a broom. Then once that's all brushed in, go ahead and run the pressure washer over it. You get a nice white, clean looking concrete. It kills off all the algae, mildew stuff that grows on it. So I'm gonna go ahead and get that going. All right, as you can see, this looks terrible. So let's wet it down and get some bleach going. So as you can see here, our 3D printed brackets have failed yet again. Now, you see that broken bracket there on the front left? On the back side, there's one exactly like it, and both of them failed, but the long one on the right survived. So that tells me a couple things. One, the screw on there could have stood to be a little bit tighter, but two, I was never intending to make that particular bracket out of steel, so looking at this, I can probably keep it in carbon fiber ABS and just make the other two out of steel, and I shouldn't have any more breaking problems. So I'm going to go ahead and make those two out of steel, and that should be the solution to that, and then I can finish my sidewalk. Luckily, I made it all the way around the corner, but the whole side of the house is still going to need me to do the sidewalk, but that's a problem for when I have the steel brackets. For now, let me show you how I clean this up. So as you can see, all the pressure washer really does is dislodge the filth, but the filth is still there. So if I just leave it, it's gonna be a dirty sidewalk regardless. So now I gotta come in with my hose and just push that over and with my broom and sweep it, and I can get this to look clean and nice. So let's put in a little bit of work and get the job done. So I finally got around to putting in the metal brackets that I spoke about. So basically I took some 1/4-inch steel plate. I used one of the 3D printed parts that I had, like a spare one on the shelf. And basically I traced it out onto the plate. I used a punch in order to mark the center of each hole. And then using a small drill press, I was able to go through and widen them out to about 5/16. And that gave me the brackets that I needed. Now, I don't have a drill press here at my house. I have it at my parents' house still. However, my dad couldn't find the chuck key for my drill press, but we could find the one for his small tabletop drill press. So I did it on that. So you really don't need super complex or expensive equipment in order to do this, but a drill press makes it super easy. If you were to do it with a hand drill, it would be a lot more work. So I heavily recommend that if you're going to try something like this, you get yourself a small drill press. I also cut out the steel sheet on my bandsaw. You could obviously use an angle grinder with a cutoff wheel, but a bandsaw just does a much cleaner job. There's so much less mess, no sparks, no nightmare. And I feel like you can cut a little bit cleaner. Obviously, you don't waste as much material because the blade is much thinner than a cutoff wheel. So that's basically how I cut that. And with these two brackets on, now the tank is rock solid. Now I did leave the long 3D printed bracket on the side because that one didn't break, and honestly, with just this front and back metal bracket, this thing is, as I said, rock solid. It's not going anywhere. So I think that between the fact that that other plastic one wouldn't break when the other two did, and the fact that I now have metal brackets in the place of the other two, I don't think it's going to be an issue. Now that that's done, this final stretch of sidewalk can get done. It's only taken me 3 Saturday mornings to finally knock this nonsense out, thanks to those crummy brackets. So this is going to undergo the same exact process. We're going to wet it down with the hose, and then we're going to spray it with bleach, hit it with the broom just to really rub it in, and we'll come back with the pressure washer and get it all nice and clean. Obviously at the end, we got to brush it and get rid of all the water buildup. You'll see that I have So there you have it. As per usual, I came back with the hose and kind of just rinsed all the filth off that the pressure washer got loose. Did a little bit of work with a broom. Now I'm gonna let the sun do its thing, dry this out. Then I'll probably just rinse off whatever excess dirt is left. There's only so much that you can get off just because water's not draining fully off into the grass. So some dirt is always gonna stay there just because of the accumulation of water. So basically gotta let that dry off and then come back and rinse it off again. But this is about as clean as I need it to be anyway. So I'm gonna let the sun do its thing and then I'll come back and take a look at it once it's dried. You'll see it's a lot whiter once it's there. So there you have it. The sun has done its thing and the sidewalk is dried nice and white. Now, the next major project obviously is going to be replacing my fence, which is in dire straits. So I'll probably have a video for that. I'm going to be replacing it with a modern metal fence. And obviously, I think it's time for me to go back to doing my own landscaping because right now I'm at the mercy of when my landscaper shows up. And being at the mercy of other people's schedules is never great. This would look fantastic if the lawn were looking extra green and vibrant to contrast against the sidewalk even more. So I'll be working on that and just getting everything going, getting everything looking nicer around here. But that's how I get my sidewalks clean. That's how I get them to turn nice and white afterward. So if you guys do a lot of this type of stuff, I'm definitely going to be posting a lot of videos. If this is an interest of yours, feel free to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so that you're notified when I post up another one. If you have any questions, feel free to leave that in the comment section. And as always, thank you guys for watching.